And there's all kinds of issues with that also, because as far as one-on-one individuals purchasing firearms off of other individuals, you run into the problem of, they basically are making the seller keep records for the government there's no time limit on that as far as I know yet, but it's same process. Call CFO, get a transfer number, and whether or not they approve if they don't approve the transfer number, for instance, at a gun sale, that person wants to buy that gun. He's got a valid license, but he doesn't get that gun that day. And it gets worse too, because usually gun shows are on weekends, and their portal is so jammed that people can't get through. And I'm in Ontario here, and I've noticed that most gun shows have been canceled now because of that. It basically killed another part of the economy just by that part of the bill. It's in my opinion, in the NFA's opinion, it's nothing. It's a long gun registry 2.0.
Yeah, that's, as you were talking, I just wrote that down. This is just a backdoor registry, and where they get to say it's not a registry, it's just records keeping by the retailer. But the retailer has to turn them over to the government if the government demands them. Now, I wanted to ask you, how does this affect competitive shooters in Canada? Because we have some of the best competitive shooters in the world. And Justin Trudeau, in a former life, he used to be, I think this was his highest position in government when he was in opposition. He was the critic for amateur sport, which included competitive shooting. But this basically wipes them out, does it not?
Bill C-71 doesn't wipe them out. It definitely keeps track of their firearms. But when we get into Bill C-21, that could lead to some real issues as far as competitive shooters go, especially the Bill C-21. Bill C-21 has several parts to it. The biggest ones that we're concerned with right now, and we could have 4 of these meetings and not cover everything, but what the Liberals want to do is they want to freeze all import and movement of handguns in Canada. So basically, what is going on right now? They've Marco Mendocino announced last week that he was going to stop the import of all handguns into Canada in a few days. So that basically stifles the whole handgun industry in Canada. And as far as sport shooters, if this bill becomes law, and handguns they put a handgun freeze into place, which is basically, if you own a handgun, you can't move that gun, you can't give it to your heirs, you can't sell it. It's your firearm until you pass away, and then it goes back to the government. So if there's new competitive shooters coming into the sport, like IPSC, IDPA, Olympic target shooting, these people right now aren't going to be able to get these firearms, although there is a clause that Trudeau put in there that sport shooters, and he didn't really clarify on what type of sport shooters are still going to be able to purchase these firearms. So I don't know. I'm a sport shooter. Am I going to be able to buy these guns, or is it going to be limited to government vetted Olympic athletes? I'm not sure. There's nothing clear in this bill at all.
Well, and how do you become somebody who's at the level to compete in the Olympics if you're not able to access training and ranges and firearms up until such time as you become an Olympic sports shooter? Basically, it ends the sport right here. Yep, there's no opportunity for new people to join.
You're right, Sheila. That basically ends it for anybody new joining the sport. There's sport shooters out there that have firearms that can continue their sport. But as far as anybody coming up through the ranks to become a world level or Olympic level athlete, you basically haven't got a chance, because it doesn't. You need to own them firearms to get to that level. It's just like you need to be a professional skier. You had to start on skis when you were younger and move in that direction. So if you haven't got the equipment to do it, I don't think you'll ever get to that level. And and if this bill does go through, that's basically going to put end of Canadian shooting sports in on the world level and on the Canadian level too, because the people that are involved in it right now are when they're done, and there's nobody to follow up on that stuff. And the other part of it too is, besides the sport shooting, there's people out there with great big collections of firearms that are worth a lot of money, and these people can't leave this stuff to their heirs. I know people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into handguns, and basically, what are they going to do with them now? They can't move them. They kind of stifled us a bit when they prohibited a lot of firearms and they grandfathered a few people into that. But now the guns are what you own is what you got, and when you pass away, they go back to the state, which definitely isn't right. And I don't even know if it's legal, but that's where we're at right now. And I just wanted to touch on something else with Bill C-21. They also mentioned magazine bans and limit everything to 5 shots. Well, they never thought that out very much either, because a lot of firearms, and you're familiar with a lever action firearm that has a tube underneath it that holds 7 or 8 or 9 rounds of ammunition. That can't be done on those. The gun will not function if you block that tube to 5 shots. It's this bill, this bill wasn't thought out very well, and if it comes into force, there's going to be all kinds of problems with it.
Oh, hey, what you just saw there is a clip from my weekly full-length show, The Gunn Show. It airs on Wednesday, but this is the internet. You can watch it whenever you feel like. You just have to become a subscriber to our paywalled premium content. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com to become a member today.